Hey, welcome back to your virtual classroom. This is accounting. I'm your teacher, Mr. Matuka, and now we're going to continue on with our work togethers. We were on chapter 13, looking at lesson 3. I think in lesson 3, they want us to fill out a 941 form, which is ridiculous. That's tough. I don't know if you'll ever get to the point of filling out a 941 form, but hey, I'm up for the battle, the challenge. Let's get it done. First things first, let's go to our Schoology account. Looks like I got a Schoology tab here. Of course, you want to make sure you're in the right course. Let's get to accounting. When you get to accounting, let's go to our materials section. And in materials, there should be a link to Mind Tab. Click on your Mind Tab link. After that, of course, you have to click on it again so we can actually go to the website. My information is already logged in and we are ready to go. Of course, you want to launch your course. After you launch your course, you want to click on the icon that has the 3 dots and lines. That's so that we can see our material in the show and hide section. We'll go to part 2. We're going to go all the way down to chapter 13. We're going to go to the end of lesson review for chapter 13, withholding and payroll taxes. Let's click on it. Let's go to working papers 13-3. Now, full disclosure and transparency, I've already done this. It gave me a headache. There was a small part I had forgotten. Had to figure that out again. So I'm ready to show you exactly how to do this. Now, I may go pretty fast because we only have 15 minutes on the recorder, and it took me longer than 15 minutes. Shouldn't take you longer than 15 minutes once I explain this, but it did take me longer than 15 minutes. So let's get started. The first part is they give you some information. They tell you your total earnings. I'm using my hand. Your total earnings for each month. How much income tax was withheld. I want you to take particular note to your employee Social Security tax and your employee Medicare tax. Because as an employer, not only do you have to pay it for the employee, and that's how much they pay, but you also had to pay it. So there's an employer. So we have to multiply these times 2 later. That's a very important step. It's the step I had forgotten, which had made this thing impossible. But once you remember that step, that you double your Social Security tax and you double the Medicare, because not only do you pay it for your employees, but you also have to pay it for your business. This thing becomes real easy. So let's get at it. So the first part, they want you to put in some information, and they give you the information here. It says prepare Form 941 for concept designs, first quarter of the current year. Company address is, that's their identification number, and it has 8 employees. So great. I went down, I just started plugging and chugging. You guys can do this real easy. Employee identification number 70-841-8625. It was given. Whoa, what is all of this? Why is it sneaking up on my screen? This is what happens when you download MP3 transcribers. I was transitioning from video to MP3s, and I got a virus, and now I get this all the time. So it really stinks. I'm through fighting it. It's just going to keep coming back. But the point is this. After we put in our numbers and the name of the business, Concept Designs, notice there is no trade name. They got me here. This is the address, 12043 Washington Street. Well, my thought was, see, 12043 Washington Street. My thought was, since it's Washington Street, then I had to put the street in. They want the street. So put the street in there. Here, I'll click on it to show you. All right, that's the only one I got wrong. No suite or room number. The quarter. This was first quarter, so I wanted to check box first quarter. That's a radio button, so you can just check on it. You have to click the first quarter. Don't click any other quarters. The city was Naperville. State is Illinois. Zip code. Notice when you get a two-part zip code, that usually means that they have a P.O. box or something to that extent. And that's why the other number is there. So these are just fill in the blanks right here. A number of employees, they told us it was 8. Wages, tips, and other compensation. That's just the total of these numbers. Total earnings are your wages, tips, and other compensation. So I just totaled those up. That's how I got this number. Income tax withheld, total income tax. Well, if I wanted to know income tax, well, which one of these 3 do you think has the income tax withheld? Yeah, so you just total up those 3 numbers. When you total up those 3 numbers, you get this number. And then if no wages, tips, or other compensation, you want to click that radio box, don't click it. No need to. When it comes to finding your taxable Social Security wages, well, that's the total of these three, because that's our total amount. And then you multiply that total amount times the taxable Social Security. Notice it says 0.124. That's because normally you're charged 0.062. 0.062 times 2 is 0.124 because you're doing it for the employee as well as the employer, yourself. So that number's been doubled. That's how you get that number. And that's where this 44,1936 comes from. Multiply this times this, you get this amount. You don't have tips, so skip that. But we do have Medicare wages. Yeah, it says and tips, but it's really the Medicare wages. So it's our total amount times the Medicare wage percentage times 2. That's it, doubled up in there, so don't be confused about that. And you get this number. You take this number plus this number, and that's 5D. So now we have we found out our total taxes. We found the tax on our wages. You take this number and this number, add them together, and you get this number. Now notice we've skipped a couple of things. Number of qualified employees first paid exempt wages, tips. We don't know that. Number of qualified employees pay wages and tips. Again, I don't know what employees are qualified. There's some definitions we'd have to see. That's too much information. Exempt wages paid to qualified. There were no exempt wages, so we're going to leave that blank. And then it says total taxes before adjustments, line 3 plus line 5D minus line 6D is 6E. So 3 was this number plus 5D minus 6D. There was no number there. That's our number. $7,596.92. Great. Current quarter's adjustment. They didn't tell us about any adjustments. Current quarter's adjustment for sick pay. We don't know anything about sick pay. Current quarter's adjustments for tips and group life insurance. Again, no information was given to me about that. And then it says, hey, total taxes after adjustments, because those were the adjustments. We want to combine line 6E through 7C. Here was 6E through 7C. Same number, $7,596.92. And then it says advanced earned income credit. We don't know anything about an advanced earned income credit. And then it says total taxes after adjustment for, well, there was no advance, so it's just the same number. And then line 11 says total deposits, including prior quarter overpayments. Well, the total deposits, remember, deposits are the amount you have to pay for your tax. Let me get this off again, man. This is ridiculous. All right. And get your total tax, and then voila, there you have it. 7,500. It's the same number. Nothing's changed. You see how this virus is just irritating me? It wasn't even there earlier, but now all of a sudden it's everywhere. Ugh. Okay. So COBRA premium assistant payments. Don't know anything about COBRA. Leave that blank. Number of individuals provided with COBRA. Don't know. Number of qualified employees paid exempt wages. We don't know. Exempt wages paid to qualified. We don't know. Adding those lines, they equal nothing. Here with some extra instructions. We don't need those instructions. Then it says add lines 11, 12A, and 12E. Well, 11 was our previous number. All blanks, same number. That's just how easy this Form 941 is. So you probably wonder, well, why did I have errors with this? I'll show you because it's coming up shortly. Balance due if line 10 is more than 13. Well, 13 is this number. 10 is the exact same number. So neither line is bigger or smaller. And if either line is not bigger or smaller, we don't put anything here. And we don't put anything here. And we don't click any of these radio buttons because there was nothing to put in that information. I'm really starting to get furious about my virus up there. Okay, so that's the first part, but we're not done. If you go down to the bottom of the screen, there's some more information to put in. And this is where I started to have my issues. First, they want to know what state. Piece of cake, put in your state. Next, they say if line 10 on this return is less than 2,500, then the preceding quarter, then 2,500, blah, blah, blah. Click the radio button. Our line 10 is not less than 2,500. So we go to the second icon. Second icon says, you are a monthly scheduled depositor for the entire quarter. Enter your tax liability for each month and total liability for the quarter. So these are numbers you have to generate. How you generate those numbers was the hard part. This is where I got confused. But now that I know, it's a piece of cake. It just took me some minutes to remember. Generating these numbers are easy. We go back up to the very top where they gave us the numbers. And the way you generate those numbers is as follows. For the month of January, for this first number, 2478.92. Let me show you how you generate that, and then you'll know exactly how we did 2530. You'll know how we did 2579. You add all three of those up, you get this number, and notice that this number must equal line 10, and it does. It equals that number. Here it is, line 10. So let me show you how you get those numbers. We're going to need our calculator. Happen to have mine open. So the first thing you have to realize is that this tax is only paid once. That's the tax paid on payroll. So we take our 698. I'm not going to put 698 in yet. I just wanted you to see it because first I have to deal with these numbers. And this is how you deal with your employee Social Security tax. I have to pay this for my employee, and then I have to pay it for the business. So 721.68 times 2. 1443.36. I need to put that somewhere. I don't have anywhere to put this. Let me put it on a new tab. Let's find a tab here. So we're going to go to Google. I'm going to give me a sheet. Let's go to the drive. I'm going to go on new, Google Docs. I'm going to pull this out like it's a scratch piece of paper. Okay, so now I need to go back to our work here. I'm going to slide that over. This is my scratch piece of paper. You guys should get comfortable doing this. It's just what you should do. So first number was 14. You know what? Let's write all the numbers, because what I'm actually doing is I'm adding this 698 plus my new number, which is 1443.36. That was this number times 2, because I'm playing it for the employee as well as the employer. And then I want to do it times this number times 2, because I got to pay Medicare for the employee and the employer. So 168.78 times 2 equals 337.56. Put my little equal sign there. I add all these numbers up, plus 1443.36 plus 698 equals 2478.92. If I go down to the bottom, I would write 2478.92. Let's do the second one. So we go back up to the top. First number is 718. Don't have to multiply that times 2. Hit the plus sign. We got 737.8 times 2 equals 1475.6 plus 172.55 times 2 equals 345.1, which when we add them all together, plus 1475.6, uh-oh, I only got a minute left, plus 718 equals 2538.70. 2538.70. Put all three of those together, add them up, put that total there. You are done. Hit continue, save. This is how you fill out a Form 941. Hey, send me an email if you have any questions. I'll be right back. We'll do 13.4. Have a good day.